so.
All right, ready?
Oh, gay face.
Good.
Gay
Yes.
face.
Welcome to 2015.
Yes.
That means it's time to talk about our best and worst of 2014.
14. Last year, for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we have got a group together finally.
A group.
We got a stranger who's been in a couple of things.
No
And
cussing this round.
we'll see.
We'll see.
We're going to do our best and worst of 2014, and along with some extra things Brendan threw at us today.
Yes.
Someone has more free time to think about it than some of us.
So,
I don't. It just kind of worked. I just kind of worked. I just
it's
kind
my
of.
fantasy living.
Okay, well, that's fine. I just kind of worked it in.
So we're doing a same thing we did last time. We're doing a double dipper here, radio show and video. Videos for Check Your Brain Productions, and we're doing movies on the radio. So if you guys are listening to this, go to checkbrain.com and
See
watch,
what it looks like.
see what it looks
video.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're in a pretty awesome little place.
Yeah, we're in the
Brandon's little hideaway shack.
This is actually the official office of currently the official office of the Big Spring Film Society. We used to have a field office in some other places in the state of Texas, but we don't really have those anymore. But this I guess would now be the official
I
office.
mean, come on, we got the movie posters, the memorabilia.
it's
You
nice.
can't really see it, but we got a monster screen to watch movies on. And he's got an E.T. doll.
You know that was originally supposed to be a horror movie.
E.T.
E.T. He was gonna kill kids and
Elliot.
stuff.
Who's going to kill Elliot? That would have made it a completely different film.
That would have been a whole different movie right there.
But yeah, it was just like Short Circuit.
It's just so cute how you just grabbed it and hugged it like you was the greatest thing ever since sliced bread.
We had props too.
I
We
think
got
I'm just
props
gonna carrot top it tonight. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab different
Random
pieces
stuff.
of memorabilia.
So right now we got a lunchbox circa
1979
1979.
Black Hole, Disney's answer to Star Wars before they owned Star Wars. Rather boring film, but looks kind of cool. Lunchbox is neat.
You got Ernest Borgnine on strings.
Is Ernest Borgnine on the lunchbox? He is.
He is on the lunchbox.
Ernest Borgnine made it on the lunchbox for the Black Hole. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah, can you see it? See Ernest Borgnine? Look at the guy from Airwolf there.
The guy from that's probably what he's best known for, right? Everybody.
Well, for us, he is. For older people, I think he what was the old movie he played. He played the lead role in a movie that was called. The name of his character was the name of the movie, and I can't remember what it was. Like Barney or something like that.
Shane.
Not Shane.
that was Eastwood.
All right,
That was nice.
I digress.
All right,
Anyway, yeah. So if you're listening to this, checkbrain.com to watch what we're talking about right here. If you're not watching, you're just listening on KBYG 106.3. You have no clue as to what we're playing with.
Yes.
So
no,
it's a mystery.
our
Sorry.
descriptions
But
suck.
I forgot we were recording for the radio too, so I guess I shouldn't have brought out things to show visually because.
Well, we just told him what it was.
I guess if we show anything visually, since we're on the radio too, we'll have to describe it a little more.
Well, we did.
Here at
You did?
Check Brain Productions, we care very little about the radio.
Yeah.
It's a mixed.
It's
bag.
all about you people watching.
Yes, that's right. I'm
'Cause-
playing another team.
That's how we make our money.
Yes. Yes.
Just kidding, John.
Wait, we don't get paid for the radio?
We love you, John.
We are so fired, and we don't even get paychecks.
Anyway, we're going to start off with our top 10.
10.
Yeah. Have you got 10 this time, Mikey?
10-ish. I'm sure I could come up with 10. Just make sure the movies I'm talking
Okay,
about.
I've got 12. Is that cheating?
Oh, I took 2 off to have 10. Yeah, well, we can do 12.
Okay, I can take
We
2.
can go. No, we can.
Well,
we can
considering
do
how
12.
some of us like me don't have that many worst movies.
Hold on a minute. I can take 2 off real easy.
Well, I know what my.
What
All right,
makes you feel better?
I'm good. I got 10.
If I start struggling feeding you some.
Okay, I'm back to 10. I'm good.
And me and Mikey, we forgot our list, so we're going to go by memory.
I write mine.
It's gonna be
I,
scary.
for once
Actually,
in my life, I remembered my
I
notes.
think I got mine on my phone. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't.
Let's start off with Mikey. What was your number 10 in 2014?
Oh, you're gonna start at the bottom?
Yeah.
Lego movie.
Lego movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
So all the way to number 10?
Well, come on, man. You got to consider the kind of movies I'm into. Granted, I do like
Spaceship.
the Lego movie. It was
grown
great.
men in their mid-30s
Like
in the Lego movie. Because it's...
What is wrong with it? It was actually funny.
It was great.
My son
Bring me
asked,
the knife of exact
I mean,
zero.
it was very well written. It was a great film.
I need the cloak of Ben Daij.
my son asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said, Lego movie just came out on Blu-ray. I want that. So, my kid got me that for my birthday.
Sweet.
That kind of trumps us, though. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. He asked his kid to buy him the Blu-ray, which is awesome.
I got it.
He's got it.
So,
I've still got it in my house. I got to bring it back to you.
number 10, what do you think of the Lego movie?
The Lego movie is the number one. Well, I don't have mine in like any order of. I can't do that. Number 1 is this. Number 10 is this. Lego movie is the first one that I thought of because it was one of the first good movies of 2014.
It was.
The Lego movie had a great. I mean, it's a movie about Legos. You're not expecting anything really huge, and actually, it came out great. And then it got towards the end of it, and the movie completely switches gears.
Mm-hmm.
And it's. I don't know. What I liked about the Lego movie more than anything is the fact that they could have made a really bad movie, but they did not. It was funny. I mean, it worked out for everybody, and it had a nice. It wasn't predictable. How's that? There you go.
It showed that a kid's movie doesn't have to be dumbed down.
Exactly, and it was very, very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Towards you mean you didn't really know what was going to happen next. And I mean, how can you not love a movie that's got Batman, Superman, Han and Chewie, Gandalf? Who else? Everybody. I mean, anybody you ever thought of in
They
Lego.
made fun of Aquaman in the Lego movie. That was awesome.
I mean, it was very well done.
What's he gonna do?
And I can't
Call
wait
the
to see
fish?
what they come up with next for another Lego.
I just found myself constantly laughing throughout the thing. I was like, wow. Just little things, I'd be like, that's good. You know?
Oh yeah, it had some really smart humor in it. So what's you don't have an order, but so what's your first one?
Well, the first one I had on there was
Lego movie.
the Lego movie, which
Okay.
is funny that Mikey hit that one first, because that was the first one that I thought of. So.
Well, mine is in an order. My number 10 is Gone Girl.
Number 10, okay.
And you finally
Yeah,
saw
that's
that.
one I haven't
Yes.
seen yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, maybe
I
you should
missed
get
out.
maybe you should get married first, and then
Before I watch
and
Gone
then you
Girl?
can watch it.
Why, you trying to say if I watch this movie, I'm not going to want to get married?
Well, I'm not gonna say anything. Don't want to ruin the movie, but I mean, maybe you should.
I've already been married
Maybe we
once.
should get you on some Match.com and get you lined up, and then you can watch the movie.
Zeusk.
So if you want to see Gone Girl, you're going to have to get on Match.com and find Mrs. Mikey.
Harmony.
The Gone Girl, it's a
Girl.
great
Oh.
movie. It is Ben Affleck doing his best, I think.
Best impersonation of Scott Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it should definitely
Whoa.
get an Academy Award nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay. The movie from beginning to end, and Amanda had read the book.
Wait a minute. You're saying best adapted screenplay. I thought the same thing. The girl that wrote the book wrote the screenplay.
She did a good job.
So I think that in the awards category, because it got nominated for a Golden Globe, but it didn't. I don't know. Do the Golden Globes have adapted, or they just have screenplay? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, next week, next Thursday, the Oscar nominations come out. So I guess we'll find out. But I mean,
Yeah.
if is it considered an adapted screenplay if the author wrote it, or the author wrote a completely different? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Let's call the Academy and ask.
I digress.
And also, if you're a fan of How I Met Your Mother, it's the continuation of Barney Stinson.
Yes,
What?
I've never related so much to a show in my life. It's
So
good.
Doogie Howser, How I Met Your Mother, and Gone Girl is the trilogy.
Yes, and a proper ending to a proper ending of the story for Barney Stinson
Yes.
in Gone Girl. Yes.
It is.
Yes.
See, now I got to go watch this movie so I know what the hell y'all talking about.
Yeah. So number 8.
8.
All right, 9.
9.
Sorry.
He's number 9.
What happened to 9? Yeah,
Yeah,
got
9.
cut off.
No one cares about 9.
Apparently not.
All right, 9.
Why you got to ask me in order, man? You just ask me what
Just
the next
pick
one.
one.
Just
Just pick one.
Let's go.
Remember, I'll have
You want
my
me to
list
do
of-
mine in my
yours,
order,
son.
and then y'all two can just add your next in the list? My number 9 is The Returned.
Huh?
I was waiting for that. This is a movie. It had a very limited release. I caught it on Netflix, though. It came out in 2014 in theaters. It is a zombie movie. It is very original take on it. It's about people who became zombies and they found a cure, but the cure had to be applied within the first, I think, 48 hours, or you did become a zombie for good. If the cure was applied in that time, you were a human again, but you had to take this medicine once every 24 hours. If you miss it, you become a zombie again.
Huh.
And
Can they cure you again?
No.
No.
Once you miss it, you become it.
And you lose your head.
And it's about society. Everyone they're called the returned, the people that have been cured. And once you have a card that, as part of your ID, it's marked, saying you used to be one. And it's about people discriminating against these people, and they have this worry that they're running out of medicine. And what's going to happen when they run out of medicine to all these people? And it's a panic with society on what happens if all these people roaming around turn back into zombies.
Huh.
And the thing about that movie is we were playing a Netflix roulette, where that website that picks out a movie, and we were like, let's let it pick out a movie, let's watch it. It's going to be horrible, it's going to be awesome. And we were really surprised. All right, Mikey.
Hey, Brad.
What's your next?
What's number 9, Mikey? Come on.
Let's see, I'd go with just made me forget it. Dallas Buyers Club.
It is really good.
It is. I mean, you know, it's.
But the big problem is that was made in 2013.
It was okay. So that's the thing. I don't have my list,
Because
so I'm like.
McConaughey won the Oscar for Best Actor last
Well,
year.
then we use this other one. I was gonna put on my list. Interstellar.
Interstellar. Okay.
There you go.
Same vein of stuff. You know, I don't know. It just seems like most of what he's done. Like, I haven't seen certain things like Mud or whatever, but most of what he's done, whether it's serious or drama or comedy or whatever, I don't know. I just like watching the movies.
Texas Chainsaw.
That version. I haven't seen that one yet.
Next Generation.
I gotta see that one.
Failure to Launch.
Saw
Failure
that
to
one.
Launch? Ah.
Okay,
That's
that's one of those like comedies. That's kind of like low on the list.
Is that the one that's got a horse face in it?
Yes. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, Girlfriend's a Ghost. Ghost of Girlfriend's Past is the one I believe has Goldie and Kurt's daughter in it. Or no, wait, that's not Goldie and Kurt's daughter. It's Goldie and somebody
You're
named
thinking
Bill.
Fool's Gold.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
They've done a few together.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
guessing Interstellar's on your list too.
It is. Sure is. But I just actually numbered mine now. So I'm
did you?
actually, yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
decided to go ahead and number mine. So,
So Interstellar, it's on my list too.
Higher up.
Higher
yes.
up. So yeah, Interstellar. Yeah, I'd have to say that was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And did it live up to the hype? Y'all think? It was good.
It was great.
Well, there really wasn't much hype. I
was
mean, the one trailer they released is just, it didn't really explain really what you were getting into until right before the movie started coming out. Then they started showing what some afterward.
I wish they hadn't done that.
Well, they didn't really show that much. That's why I was still like, okay, I know he's going to outer space, but they didn't really give enough to like give it away for me. So I was still like, this is awesome.
The trailer that they released a year before it came out, which would have been a year ago November, they should have left it at that. That's what I liked about it, because it was like, okay, here's this. What is it about?
Yeah.
And they never really even gave you an idea, and that's what made us all salivate for so long about it, because we knew nothing about it.
Even that extended one, I never really saw the full thing. I caught like the last part. I was like, hey, I think that's the Interstellar movie. Mm-hmm. So I never really saw the full thing, but I was still like that, just waiting to watch this, because it's just the way the original trailer was made. And I was hooked from that alone.
Yeah. Well, I just wish they hadn't given us. I wish they would have just left it where it was at.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great movie. I do think the second trailer made it a little more hyped up for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good enough that it is on my top 10 list also. Right. Just higher up.
Well,
So we're still on number 9.
So what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Edge of Tomorrow. Tom Cruise and the chick from The Devil Wears Prada. What's her name? Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow was Groundhog Day meets science fiction element.
Starship
meets
Troopers.
Starship Troopers. But
Good, I'm not the only one that thought that.
and I go back to we were talking about the Lego movie. It wasn't predictable. Edge of Tomorrow, I didn't know where things were going.
Yeah.
It was unpredictable, and that I love. Like I said, I love sitting down and watching something. You don't know the beginning, the middle, and the end before 10 minutes in. And Edge of Tomorrow was one of those.
It's one of those that it could be a sci-fi action, or if you look at a certain way, it's a great comedy.
Yeah, it really is. But that was my number 9. So
that's also on my list. We're going to talk about all mine before I even get to them.
Wait.
Oh yeah, he's rolling.
Yeah.
And Bill Paxton, he was perfect for that role too.
yeah, he was.
Good Lord, son, what were you thinking?
Oh, he wasn't playing Hudson all over again?
I just see him as
No.
Chet from Weird Science.
Have you seen it?
No.
Edge of Tomorrow. You need to see it.
It's good.
Oh, that was
good.
my top 10, but I need to see it.
Let's jump to number 8. My number 8 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
So, I thought
Also on mine.
I thought it was a great. It's
Empire
like
Strike Back of the Marvel Universe.
no, it was more of
It kind of
a.
really was.
It kind of was. That's how
now that you say that, I never
It was-
really
it
thought
was-
about
That's
it.
something about it. That's what it was. It's the Empire Strikes
It
Back.
changes
of
the
Marvel
whole
Universe.
ball game for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It was It was dark. Yeah, they did a lot of rearranging of the whole series in
It
it.
really did.
But what I loved about it was like a great spy thriller.
It wasn't so much like a superhero film as it
Yeah.
was more like a suspenseful political thriller kind of.
You just happen to have this dude in it that wears a flamboyant costume who's really strong and fast.
Yeah.
That opening scene where he's taking out the guys on the boat. I mean, that was
amazing
done.
scene.
Yeah, it was like not in your face special effects action. It was just like, oh wow, I believe that he is really that.
Captain America's limber.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And he doesn't need that shield to beat people either.
Okay, so that's your number
That's
8.
my number 8.
What's your number 8?
Well, that one's higher up on the list for me, but
Yeah, mine too.
that's like up in the top 5, I think. Number 8, I think I have to go with like Thor: Dark World.
Is that this year?
Yeah. No.
No, it's not.
That was.
No, it wasn't.
That was November.
Yep.
last-
No, it wasn't.
Yep,
No.
sure was.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Shut up. This is my list.
He's like, it
I
came
mean,
out
I
on
liked it
Blu-ray.
too, but that's last year.
I've had to work the last 3 days. I haven't had much time to prepare.
Yeah, it's okay. That's generally
Next.
next.
Next one I can think of. I'll just put that at number 8.
Do you want me to do mine and then maybe
Go
that
ahead.
one?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
my number 8 film was the one that I believe is going to be the winner of the Best Picture Oscar this year. Was Rick Linklater's Boyhood. Have you? I don't think either one of y'all have seen it, have you? Yeah.
No, you're the first person I've heard say anything good about it.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't liked it, but to me, I think probably what sold me more on Boyhood more than anything is the labor of love that the filmmaking process was for that film.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they filmed every year for almost 12 years. They once a year they'd all get together, go to Austin, film some scenes, and then whatever. Next year they get back together, and that kid just got older each year, and no one's ever done that. And the way that they do the film, being a young man that grew up to be a grouchy old bastard like I am, but I remember. I mean, it starts with where he's 7, 8 years old, goes to the tween years, the teen years, the college years. It's a very beautiful portrait of growing up as a little boy, and when y'all see it, you'll understand. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think it drags. It's a little slow, but the reason it drags it's a little slow is it's very realistic. There's no aliens don't show up. There's no crazy drama. No, I mean it's a picture of growing up, and it's done very well. And plus, Rick Linklater's from Austin, Texas, by God. And
You got a dedication to spend 12 years making.
Well, and you got to represent. We're from Texas. That's how we roll. You represent the folks from Texas. Linklater is one of the.
When's our movie come out? You get it when it's done.
Well, and Rick Linklater, you got to give Rick Linklater one thing. You know, he's a huge force behind the whole film movement in Austin. He has been since Dazed and Confused, and I'm a big fan of his. So, number 8 was Boyhood for me.
Cool. Let's see, my number 7, another Marvel, X-Men: Days of Future Past.
That's cute.
Your number 7 too.
My number 7 also.
All right. You wanted to say it's your number 7? Or is it higher on the list?
I was like at my number 6.
Close enough. You didn't have an 8.
Well, that was I mean, number 1, it was cool to see Bryan Singer back directing an X-Men film, and number 2, it brought the great film that was X-Men First Class. Was such a that little universe they created there, and then they brought it in and mixed it together with the Bryan Singer X-Men universe, and I thought he did a really good job doing that.
And then they retcon X-Men 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very
Yeah.
retcon.
Which I was glad to see, because now I think next we're going to get our real X-Men movie with the whole group.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. I like the fact that it wasn't focused on Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big plot point. Differs from the comics a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just a plot point, and he was there. And the focus was really on Magneto and
Xavier
Mystique.
and Mystique.
Yeah.
About
And
their original friendship relationship and how it changed and what changed it.
yeah. So yeah, that's my number 7. Got a 6. Oh, your 6 was X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your 6? Or wait, your 7 was that too? Okay, number
yes,
6.
Yes. My number 7 was the same one. Yeah.
My number 6 was Edge of Tomorrow. We've already talked about that.
Yep. My number 6 is Walt Disney's Maleficent, starring Angelina Jolie. It took me forever to see the thing. I didn't get to see it in theaters because things kept happening. But when I finally did get to watch it, it's a great film. Angelina Jolie is amazing as Maleficent. She nails the crap out of it. She's perfect. But the story that they put behind it was really good. I mean, it was they told the story of the villain from Sleeping Beauty from a totally different perspective, and it was very well done. The visuals, the special effects, which I don't really like to jump on special effects so much, but it was a great story, and the special effects enhanced the movie so well, and it looked great. The music was great. You had what's his name, Copley, the guy that was in District 9. Yeah, he's kind of your villain in the film. There was a lot of problems before I saw the film, where I believe you told me that there was almost a recreated rape scene, I guess, kind of, whenever she gets.
Well, that's what people were saying.
Well, yeah, it was what some people were saying, but if you you can look at anything and start pulling out symbolism of this is what this means.
That's what they're trying to say in this scene.
But
I mean,
it was just
the dude's drinking coffee, man. He's not trying to take over the world.
I mean, it was part of the story, and I was very impressed with it, and I really liked it. And Maleficent was a great film. That's my number 6.
I agree. It was really, really good. I think one of the better live-action Disney movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Well, what's your number 6?
My number 6, I already said it was Edge of Tomorrow. We already talked about that. My number 5 is...
I don't get a number 6?
Oh,
Did I repeat?
Yours was X-Men, I thought.
Huh?
You said yours was X-Men.
Oh.
No? Okay, what is your number 6?
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6 is your number 6.
That almost made it on my list.
No, it was good, man. I actually went and saw this with my nieces and my brother. They want to go see it. I was like, all right, kids movie, I'll go watch it with them. And I actually enjoyed the movie.
It was good.
Granted,
Did you ever read the
CGI.
comics?
No. I didn't even know there was a comic. The first I ever heard about it was the movie.
Yeah,
So I
it's
was
a
sitting there
Marvel.
thinking, man, they could actually make a show out of this.
Yeah, it's a Marvel comic. I've never read it.
Me either, but I went there, with my nieces just to enjoy the afternoon with me, watch a movie, something I like, and I actually got into it. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool.
It was done pretty good. It didn't make
was.
it didn't make my top 10 list, but it was out of
I'm
a
just
lot of
weird
the
that way.
out of a lot of the kids movies I saw, which I see a lot of kids movies because I have kids. It was probably if I had a category for the best kids movie I saw all year, that would probably be number one.
Not Lego.
Okay, Lego would be number one. Number two would be okay. I got you. Point.
Nah, it was great. I loved it. I like the style of the animation. I liked that the movie took chances. I mean, they kill off a major character earlier on, which is part of the plot, and you're just like, oh wow, they really did that.
And they actually kind of dealt with it, you know, that
Yeah.
one scene where he, you know,
But what? Why is every comic book funeral? Why does it rain?
That's just tradition. Hellboy, Big Hero 6,
was rain is associated with being sad and depressed.
Watchmen. I think.
That rained a lot.
All right.
I think there's a funeral in Watchmen, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, generally, sad dreary weather is associated with that in movies.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
not about 90% of your movie funerals are going to have rain in it. Maybe 85.
Eh. Snow.
Snow.
Or something.
So my number 5 is Interstellar. We've already talked about that
Mhm.
to death.
Yes.
That
yes.
horse is beaten over in the corner there.
Still got some life left in it.
It's actually just a big gray bag. So, what's your number
It's an air
5?
mattress, actually. My number 5 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I really enjoyed that film. I'm really impressed with the way they have brought a franchise that really didn't make much sense. I mean, you look at the old '60s movies; they never really explain how apes. I mean, yeah, they saw the Statue of Liberty and you did it, you bastards, whatever. This movie actually makes this new series of apes films actually makes it make sense of why the apes took over.
Mhm.
There's an actual story behind it. It's not just, oh, look, the apes took over.
This is a good reboot.
Yes,
Series.
very, very, very good reboot. And Dawn of the Apes, I mean, the motion capture, the music, the story, everything about the film as a sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes was dead on for me. It's perfect. I loved it. Great film.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
I liked it a lot. My 6-year-old is the one who's like, we're going to see that. She loves the 60s Planet of the Apes. Alyssa, she loved the remake, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Or was this one Rise? This one's Dawn.
This is Dawn. The first one was
Yeah.
Rise.
Seems like the first one would be Dawn and this one would be Rise.
I know. Well,
They didn't think ahead. Hopefully they're thinking ahead of those astronauts, though.
Right.
But yeah, Andy Serkis. This man can do no wrong when it comes to motion capture.
He is one of the hottest commodities in Hollywood these days, apparently. I mean, he's in everything. He's in the new Star Wars.
Mhm.
He's in the new Avengers. He was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, this guy he's everywhere.
Yeah,
He's everywhere. He really is.
I'm still rooting for him to get an Oscar nod
Yeah.
for motion capture.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I don't think it's going to happen.
Ought to by now.
Beauty and the Beast
From
won
from
or got
Smeagol all the way
nominated.
up to this. I mean,
Oh, I thought the Two Towers. He should have been nominated.
For Gollum.
Yeah, and then Rise or Dawn Rise. Yeah.
Real
First
quick on the apes thing, and you and I have discussed this before. I'm really curious, and it's going to be neat to see if they actually work it into it. Is in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which they don't address it. It's in the background, the astronauts disappearing and all that, whatever.
Yeah.
I was hoping in Dawn they were going to explain, like maybe somehow bring that into the story, and they never did. So I'm hoping this next film, which they announced this the other day, the sequel to Dawn of the Apes will be out in 2017. I'm hoping they are going to address the astronauts disappearing.
That's
Whatever.
what
Yeah.
I've been wanting since that first one came out.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't think it'd be the second one. I figured it might be the third or the fourth one, where it's about the astronauts.
yeah. Well,
And it's basically a recreation of first Planet of the Apes.
we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see more movies in this Apes franchise. Like I said, I think it's a pretty cool deal they're doing there.
All right, you're number 5.
was just thinking about it too. Oh man, I really need a list next time we do this.
You didn't even have a list last year. You just listened to me. You're like, yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm
just
trying
proud
not
of
to be
myself
such
for
a yes
actually
man.
making a list.
No,
Good job.
man, I was just thinking about it, and y'all got off on that egg.
Sabotage. Huh.
I can use that. Yeah,
Schwarzenegger. I almost watched that last night too.
you should, man. It's like a trip. Schwarzenegger's DA agent.
What's wrong with you?
What, man? I just thought
Arnold's done. He needs to get.
No, he was actually good in this.
He needs to calm down.
I've heard
and just-
nothing but good things about
No,
Sabotage.
he was actually good in this, man. Like he plays the agent all that well. You know, he's like a team leader of a DA strike force and everything that goes down in that movie.
Maybe
It's
I
just
maybe
like
I ought to check it out.
you're kind of scratching your head the whole time. It's like, okay, did he really do this or did he not? Because they accuse him of stealing money during a raid and stuff, and
Well, don't
DA
tell me.
kind of. Huh?
Don't tell me. Don't tell
I can tell
them.
you.
Yes,
All right.
don't ruin the movie.
That's just the beginning of the movie. I ain't telling you the rest of it.
Okay.
But he really, I mean, granted, yeah, he's getting a little old and tired, and it's time to go. But he actually did it.
Well,
Dang good job. in this
I'm
movie.
curious, and I wasn't that interested. When we did the radio show the other night, I was talking about how Terminator Genesis, the
Yeah.
new, and I was just like, I just don't. I came home that night and I watched the trailer. I think I'm curious. I'm real
I am
curious.
too.
I'm curious,
I'm
but I don't
kinda-
have high hopes.
I don't have high hopes. I didn't really like Terminator Salvation. I mean, it's just like they're just trying they're just trying as hard as they can to keep the franchise going.
Well, they've already planned this as a trilogy.
Oh my god.
Terminator
Well,
movies.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good.
So, Sabotage, Mikey's number 5. My number 4, Snowpiercer. Did I beat you to it?
No, it didn't make my list.
You saw it, right?
Yes, I did.
All right. I know you
Great,
saw it.
yeah, I loved it. Great film. I just didn't have enough room to put it in.
That
I can use that for my number 4. That was actually, wow.
that's
Like the only reason I watched it is because you talked about it. I was like, okay, and it came up on Netflix. I was like, wow, I got Netflix quick. I was like, I'll give it a try. And I sat there and I watched the whole thing. And I was like,
yeah.
really? Wow.
And the thing was, this movie, it came out overseas a year before it ever showed up over here. And I got tired of waiting for it. I was walking along the side of the highway, and I found a copy just laying there. And I started to
I bet
watch
you
it.
did.
And then before I got into it too much, my wife was like talking about it. We looked
Wait,
it
you
up.
found a copy on the side of the highway?
Yeah. And we found out that it was coming out in the next couple of months. Waited, and of course, it didn't come out anywhere here.
Nope.
And it did come out in Lubbock, and we drove to Lubbock
I wish
one
I could have
day.
gone with you to see it in the theater. That'd been
Well, that brings up kind of this is the year that they did a whole lot of this stuff where not only was it out in theaters, it was on demand and on iTunes. I think that's crap. I don't think. I mean, don't get me wrong. I watched Snowpiercer on demand because I couldn't get to the movie theater. But if they continue to do this, to release these movies on demand and on iTunes, it's going to kill the movie. It's going to kill the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
And to me, and a lot of people complain, like, "Oh, it's so it costs $25 to go." Yeah, it's expensive to go. The drinks and the popcorn are high as hell, but that's what we do to keep our movie theaters open. And if you enjoy the movie theater experience, you've got to go, pay for these things.
Well, see, I would have went to watch it in the theater, but I think I was out of town on a job or something when you went to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you were
I
around.
wasn't around because I would have totally gone to the theater with them and watched
yeah.
it. I kind of wish I could have seen it in the theater first, and then got home and it was, oh man, I got to watch this again.
Well,
'Cause-
what's different about the theater experience to the on-demand or home experience is at home you've got animals or kids or your phone or your iPad. There's too many distractions.
It's not the same experience.
No, it's not. You walk into a movie theater, you sit down in the dark, you're going to watch it from
Turn
start.
your phone off.
You turn your
while
you turn
you're
your
in the
phone
theater.
off, and if you don't turn your phone off, you ought to be hung, burned, and tarred and feathered. Tarred and feathered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Feathered and tarred,
but that's the theater experience. You completely block everything out, and you're watching the movie. At home, You can do that, but if you're disciplined enough. But about half the time, you're watching a movie. It's great. Your dad calls. You get up. You have to go talk to your dad on the phone for 30 minutes, and then
And you forget to pause the movie, or you pause it,
or you get back, and you're not experiencing the movie experience like you should from beginning to end. And that's why I think the
You get
movie theaters have got to be
distracted.
preserved, and they've got to quit doing this crap where they're releasing them on demand and in the theaters at the same time. It's crap, and that's my opinion. Sorry.
I agree.
I'm with you, dude. I love
And
going to.
If
I know
it's too expensive, don't buy popcorns.
Yeah,
and
get the
Cokes
small.
And candies
You gotta get the
and all that
large.
stuff.
You
Go,
gotta be
go-
like me. You
go
get
to-
the large everything every time you
Go to
go.
Burger
Just
King.
sneak it in your purse. We used to sell. I mean, we used to. I remember. I'll never forget. Empire Strikes Back when they released it. We walked in there with a 12-pack stuffed in somebody's bag of sodas, and I mean the concessions are concessions. My main thing is the theater experience is the theater experience. You sit down, start to finish. At home,
sit
you might
down.
get that, you might not.
There's been many times I've
It's
gone to
monstrous
the movies
wall of
without getting
movie
any
goodness.
concessions. When I saw Dark Knight Rises, I didn't get anything. I went by myself.
What?
Talked to Kevin for a little bit. Went inside, watched the whole movie by myself. No concessions. Spent $4. There you go.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer. That's my number 4. That's your number 4.
Yeah, I'll use that one for.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier that we've already talked about earlier, and I agree. Yeah, it's not necessarily a superhero film. It's more of a political thriller, kind of an intrigue kind of deal. I like Chris Evans as Captain America. I like the whole storyline they were getting into with the Winter Soldier, and I really liked how it completely changed everything. You know, like we were just saying, it's like The Empire Strikes Back for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Great film. That was my number 4. Number 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my number 3.
Mine's Captain America: Winter Soldier.
My number 3 is Gone Girl.
So let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cool.
Y'all liked it. You liked it. Everybody
I liked
liked it.
It was a movie where, and if we would go back and listen to other radio shows, when they first announced the fact they were making a movie about this Guardians of the Galaxy that no one really even knew who they were, that had a talking tree and a talking raccoon,
Yep.
I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard in my entire life.
Oh, I did too.
I was like, how will they make this work?
Well, I
There's
did
no
too
way.
because I know
They
the comic
got-
history. The original Guardians didn't even have those two characters in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The original Guardians of the Galaxy was something totally different. And like the main guy was actually a reserve Avenger. Got cryo froze, woke up and found Captain America's shield and was trying to, make sense of this 26th century he woke up in, encased in an adamantium suit.
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy, which we're getting on that's my number 1.
That's my
Your
number
number.
one. That's my number one
Yeah,
too.
Guardians of the Galaxy was my number. That was the most fun,
Oh,
most
yeah.
entertaining.
I saw it 3 times.
I only saw it twice.
I saw it once, but since it came out, I mean, when it came up on iTunes to buy, I guess 2 or 3 weeks before it even came out, I immediately bought it, and since I bought it, I think I've watched it 6 times.
Well, no,
And
no,
it's
Blu-ray player,
just
thank you very much, by the way.
it's one of those movies for me, like Star Wars or The Dark Knight or Batman. It's just something that I will probably watch this movie 1 billion times. It is that much fun.
Yeah, I can't say enough about this movie. I can't compliment it enough.
That's why it's my number one, man. Out of everything that came out this year, and I enjoyed them all, but that was like the most fun I had watching the movie.
I had a blast watching it. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I can't wait to see how it's going to connect to Avengers. It's probably going to connect to it in Infinity War. Yeah, that's probably where it's all going to be at. Yeah, it's a near perfect science fiction movie.
It's pretty dang good. I mean, you can't find a whole lot of fault in that.
Yeah. So that's my number 3. What is you guys? Number
Mine's
threes?
Captain America. That's why I told you mine was higher on the list.
Okay, yours is Captain America. What's you's guy?
This guy, what's your number 3?
My number 3 was Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Okay.
Gone Girl was, David Fincher. Beautiful score from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Trent Reznor, that's what tricked me out. He did a soundtrack for a movie.
He did
He's done a
Social
few.
Network also.
Yeah.
And he also did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Wow.
I mean, that's really where.
I mean, I hear his name. All I think is 9 Inch Nails.
He is 9 Inch Nails,
Yeah.
but
Him and his keyboard.
he's grown up,
Mm.
and part of his growing up is it's not so much screaming about all his. Pretty much, I don't know. My teenage angst was 9 Inch Nails. I was a huge 9 Inch Nails fan.
He said himself, he was like, I got married and I got happy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if my happiness inconvenienced your music listening.
But he got to whenever he was all angry and dark or whatever, made some great albums. But now, as a grown up, he's scoring movies and he's doing so well at it.
He was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, he won an Oscar.
Did he win?
Social Network. He won an Oscar for the
Okay, I didn't
Social
know if
Network
he
10.
won.
Yeah, he won. This score for Gone Girl, I hope it gets nominated. It's genius. It's a great score, and it's a great score for a great film. I mean, it's another one of those films. And I go back to that. You know, we were talking about the Lego Movie and some of these other ones where they're not predictable. Gone Girl is not predictable at all.
No.
And that's the kind of movie. That's
You
the kind.
think
Those are
you're
original.
watching one movie and then halfway through you're like, oh, I
And-
am not watching one.
So it's
No.
it's not like Paycheck
No, I mean, and the deal with Gone Girl
Or Reindeer
is
Games.
or
it's,
reindeer games.
it's an original
Here's the
piece. I
bomb
mean,
in
it's
Fantasy.
based on a book, right?
Yeah.
It's not a franchise. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's not a sequel. It's something. It's original material, and that's what. But it's original material of stuff that has happened in our society and things it's. I don't know. It's a great film. Great film. If it wasn't for how much I love Guardians, it probably would have been my number one.
So what's your number 2?
Number 2 is Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Interstellar for me was a movie where, I mean, don't get me wrong, it had some slow spots. There was a little bit of confusion here and there,
Yeah.
but it made a very, very important point for all of humanity. And if anybody is, I mean, hopefully people will see that is the space program and the universe and all that. We're specks of dust on the ass of the universe. I said I wouldn't cuss, but that's not really
You
cussing.
just did.
Well, that's not really cussing. And
It's in the
Interstellar pretty much kind of lays it out there with like, you know what? Eventually, at some point, we're going to have to go somewhere else.
Well,
And
this planet will not be able to sustain us.
no. I mean, we at some point, yeah. And Interstellar just really like pushes that home. And I hope I was kind of thinking, you know, when they made that film, they're making that kind of to make everybody remember, especially the United States government and everybody else, you know, they kind of forgot about NASA, that we need to be pushing forward. We're pioneers. I mean, that's what the humanity is. We've always found ways to survive and ways to move on. Eventually, we're going to have to find a way to move on that's not going to be on this planet. And that movie really pushed that, and that's what really blew my mind about it. And also, it's another film that was unpredictable. You didn't know what was going on. I still kind of didn't know what was going on in some scenes in that film.
I'd like
And-
to see it again, yeah.
Oh, me too.
Just,
And McConaughey nailed it. Nailed it. I mean,
yeah.
knocked it out of the park. Another Texas guy, so go support.
So,
So what's your number 2?
alright. He probably got smacked because it was last year. Lone Survivor. Was that last year?
Nope. That was February this year, I think. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Oh. You tell we're Texas fans here?
Oh, never mind. It's 2013.
Yep.
Dang it!
Sorry. Oh!
Epic fail. All right, y'all go ahead.
But you like it
Yes.
enough that it could be your
Yes.
second favorite movie this year, too.
Yes. Yes. Go. Yes.
Interstellar was your number 2. My number 2 was Lego Movie, which we've already talked about.
Right.
So
Numero
What was
uno.
number 1?
mine is Begin Again.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
With-
And I need to see that.
That is James Fite's number 1 movie of 2014, Begin Again, starring Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley and Adam Levine.
What? Avril Lavigne or
Adam.
Adam Levine?
Adam.
The singer from Maroon 5?
Yeah.
He did a movie?
He's in a...
He does a good job, too. I was like, is that? Oh, man. And this is a movie.
So your number 1 movie of the year is a chick flick.
It's not a chick flick.
It sounds like,
Sounds like a chick flick.
It's not a. It's not
drama,
a.
isn't it?
It's a drama. It's about this music producer who he's basically washed up. I mean, he's won Grammys and everything. He's been on the cover of Rolling Stone, and he has basically lost all connections with reality, and he's a drunk. He's lost his family, and he sees this girl singing in a bar one night, and he has this thing where he can watch someone perform on an acoustic guitar and then imagine what it would be like if he rearranged it.
Oh, so he's got Holmes vision.
Sure. And it's Keira Knightley, and the way they put this movie together, they jump back and forth in timelines constantly. Keira Knightley is Adam Levine's girlfriend, and it shows their relationship and how they broke up and how she ended up at the bar playing that night. And Adam Levine's becoming a big singer. He's got a music contract and everything, and she helped write songs to get him there. And Mark Ruffalo, he wants to cut an album with her, and it's about them trying to put this album together, and the relationship between him and his ex-wife, his daughter, her with her ex-boyfriend, and the way all these storylines tie together with the way it's edited, cut together, all the flashbacks intertwining with each other. And I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this could be the best movie I've seen this year, or they could screw it up with the end. If they screw up the ending, it's going to be horrible. And they knocked it out of the park. It's what I said with Oblivion. It's the emotion I get from it. And watching this movie, when that ending happens, I'm like, I feel good. I'm good. I like this.
Is it uplifting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you can see where it could go in the total cliche storyline, and you're just like, oh, I hope they don't go there. And they don't. They totally do something you're like, oh, I like
This
that.
is new. I can't predict the movie while I watch it.
Yeah. And no, it's about as good of a movie as you could get.
I think it's cool that you picked out of all the big movies that we saw all year and we talked about on the radio show all year, that you pick a out of the blue film that no one's that hasn't been talked about, hasn't been hyped. I mean, not big one on the awards circuit or whatever, and you picked that one, and I think that's cool.
And
that's why I really like to see it now.
My number 2, The Hobbit. Oh, that was last
There
year.
you go.
The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Or the latest Hobbit?
Oh, Hobbit.
The one that happened 2 weeks
Battle
ago.
of 5
Okay.
Armies.
That's your number
One
2?
I haven't seen.
Okay.
The one that happened like before Christmas.
Yeah, that's on my list of didn't see
That's
films.
what happens when I actually write a list down for a change and I don't bring it with me. Thank you very much, Mr. Unprepared. This guy.
Yeah.
So I guess we're on to the
What?
worst.
Did you do your number 1?
Yeah, my number 1. Yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We
What-
love talking raccoons
Oh, yeah.
and trees.
I forgot that y'all did that. So I had the only original number 1. No.
Wow.
You really did. It was a good pull.
No, so what we're gonna do, we've ran a little long in this video. We're gonna make this a 2-parter video. The second part's gonna be our movies we missed, worst of 2014, and a few little surprises. And so, watch the next video to catch all that. If you're listening on the radio, well, just stay tuned.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be right back, and you get to hear all of it.
Listen to movies on the radio right here on KBYG AM and FM.
What's the official tag? things
anything.
All right, we're rolling.
We're rolling.
we can be.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening.
Take 2.
That's a little pause, right? He's like, "Hey, everybody." I'm like, "Crap, I'm supposed to say something."
All right, ready?
Oh, game face.
Go ahead.
Game
Yeah.
face.